Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been a while since I've unboxed the Kizer, and this has been recommended as a possible knife of the year for 2024. And it's close to the end of the year, so I thought I would go ahead and take a look at this Kizer Militaw pocket knife. In general, in the pocket, I was big into Kizer when I started off collecting, and lately I've really, as far as the budget end, and recently I've really liked what Migron has been doing and CGRB. And who else am I missing? A couple of Civivi. But Kizer, I've kind of fallen away to the wayside. This is the first Kizer I've opened up on this channel in a while, so I'm also curious to check that out. But first, before I do, will you please click the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Comments really help the channel. So let's take a look at this Militaw. I do like this graphic up here. I don't know what the hell that is, but that's interesting. Nothing wrong with Kizer. Kizer is a great knife company, and I enjoyed a lot of their knives, and I learned a lot about knives. So this is, I guess, best wishes for you, kind of like holiday. Oh, so I guess this is like, getting it ready to give away to someone for a present. That's pretty nice. It's got these nice stickers here, and some confetti. Interesting. Oh, wow. Huh. That's very sweet. And interesting. They've got the little booklet on the knife, and they also have, excuse me, I had to pause the video there for a minute because I had a little sneezing attack. Extra hardware is always appreciated on these knives because sometimes when you're changing them out and you're doing maintenance on your knife, you could accidentally strip a screw or something like that, and it's always nice to have a new one. Oh, wow. All right. Nice little bag. In general, I really should start throwing away more of these boxes. I'll probably give this knife away to one of my Patreon subscribers in the future, unless it really blows me away. But I'll tell you, the look right now of it, I like this inlaid linen micarta, I think it is, and then you've got some G10 that's textured. This inlay looks really nice. Like, it looks really nice. The Kizer clips I've never really liked because the bill feels a little bit big to me, but they are pretty sturdy as long as you don't catch it on something. And it is not reversible, so this is a right hand only knife. You've got a nice access to this triangle here for flicking, and it looks like you've also got a front flipper action as well. The centering on this is perfect, which is what you would expect. I believe this knife comes in at around $50. Definitely in my budget territory. If you don't know why I consider budget, basically under $75, $80, something like that. All right, let's flip it open and take a look. Very nice action. Kizer almost always uses bearings on it, and I can feel those Kizer bearings. Sandwich construction, skeletonized on the inside there. You probably can't see that, but it is skeletonized to reduce weight. And this is Nitro V, which I absolutely love. Nitro V, AEBL, and 14C28N are all versions of the same steel, and I really like Nitro V. For this price point, it's actually a great steel to have. And Kizer does a really good job of their heat treats. So I'm going to go ahead out on a limb and say that this Nitro V is going to keep its edge as long as it's meant to. It's not a top-end steel, but it is a steel that I really love in this price range. I think it's the best knife steel you can get in this price range. Very sharp scroll cuts, high-speed cuts. The blade shape itself is a nice little drop point that I like. A nice amount of belly. It's got a little bit of a point here where you can, a sharpening, blanking on the name, but a place where you can sharpen the blade pretty easily with a KME or whatever you want. Stropping will keep it sharp. Uneven sharpening on each side. The bevel on this side is shorter than the bevel on that side, which is a shame for this. I think that in this day and age, that should not be. There's a nice amount of action, or access, I should say, to the liner lock, which I like. And I'm not a front flipper guy, but this works really well. The lockup is at about 25%, which I think is excellent. And it's not a nested liner, but it does. They've milled out a little bit of the G10 to make it feel like a nested liner, which is great. I don't think I'm going to be able to, well, yeah, with the thumb hole, the triangle thumb hole, is not great for opening with your thumb, but it's fine. In general, I would say if you're going to open it with your thumb, you should front flick it. Nice little rounded jimping over here, and the blade is rounded on all the edges. Contouring is very nice. I really do like this inset G10, which if I oil this up a little bit, or just naturally, you can see the grease from my hands is starting to color it. That will color up real nicely and become darker, which is cool. Not reversible. I think I already mentioned that. Two pillars back here in the back. This is kind of standard for them. There's no lanyard clip or hole for it, which is fine with me. I'm not a lanyard guy necessarily. Some knives I am, but in general, the action on finger flicking it is great. Lockup is good. And then the action, it just closes really nicely. That's because of the bearings. It's really hard to mess up when you're running on bearings. It's really hard to mess up the action, and Kizer's always had good action, and that just drops shots really nicely. The engagement point of the ball on the liner lock gets up onto the blade really fast, and then it just shuts really nicely. That is a really nice action. So yeah, this is a knife I can definitely recommend. I'll put it in my I'll do a video at the end of the year, best knives of 2024. This will be on it. I don't think it'll be number one, but it'll make the list, and that is no mean feat, because there are a lot of really good budget knives coming out lately. So this is nice. This is a really nice knife. I like the aesthetics, and I love Nitro V. The ergos are a little funny, honestly. This is such cut out here that, like, that's where my ergos are just a little odd. This is such a big cutout here that it's not quite comfortable in the hand. It's not uncomfortable, but it's not comfortable. I don't quite like the ergos, because my middle finger goes right in here, and then my other finger comes up here, and it just seems like too much of a cutout. And the balance point is right in that cutout, which is good. That's what you want. Just something slightly off about the ergos. And, you know, you're saying, well, that's the budget knife, $50. You should expect that. But I could point to a bazillion other knives that I have that are budget knives, like the Centurion from Migron, which has the same kind of liner lock setup where it doesn't feel uncomfortable, and the way the access to it is up more forward, so that my finger is my front finger is in that, and it doesn't feel strange. There's another liner lock here that might be another good example of that. I've got buttons, I've got other things. Here's another Migron. This is the Kyrix. This has a nice choke up point. Access is nice, but again, the ergos are much nicer on this. This is just a little bit too boxy, maybe, and I think that the access to the liner lock here is too far back. This needs to be different. I need to think about how that is, but overall, my final impressions: great aesthetics. The way that it looks, I love it. I love the treated blade. I love the treatment on the blade. I don't know if that's true DLC or not. I probably is. This is the Militaw Nitro V. Is a great steal for this price point. Absolutely love it. The clip is a standard Kizer clip, which I don't necessarily like. It is very much a deep pocket carry, which I do appreciate. Left-handers can't enjoy this knife. Good access and good rounding on the liner lock. Drop shut action is awesome. Ergos are iffy at best. And if you like front flipping, again, this is the fault of my thumb, not the knife. If you like front flipping, I think it's good for that. And then also, it'll just open really nicely with your finger. Or you can always, of course, roll it out with your thumb. I don't think that flicking it open with your thumb is the most comfortable thing. It will work, like I just proved. But I think if I was going to open this in general, I'd probably roll it out with my thumb or finger flick it. I'm not a front flipper guy, so I'd probably ignore that. But this front flipper isn't so proud that it's annoying to me if I had this knife. Yeah, thanks so much for joining me today, guys. That was the Militaw from Kizer. I'm really glad to see Kizer put out a knife that I'm interested in, and I'm definitely interested in this knife. So Check out my other reviews, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you want to get a chance to win a knife of the month, and honestly, this will probably be one of the knives that I give away at some point in the future, all you have to do is follow the link down below for Patreon. For $3 a month, you could enter to win a knife of the month. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.